All right, so I want to talk a little bit about, or I want Simon to talk a little bit about the ecosystem. Obviously, Fishbowl is a standalone software, but it has a lot of other applications that you can add to it to make it quite a sophisticated solution. So, Simon, why don't you tell us a bit about the other parts of the Fishbowl ecosystem that make it such a phenomenal product?
Yeah, so this is definitely something that's changed over the last couple of years. So I guess historically I've been doing consulting on software for businesses since 99 now. I know I don't look that young. But historically, we used to see a lot of businesses buy inventory based on their accounting needs or what their accountant said. So, when GST first came in, they bought QuickBooks or MYB, or these days we see Xero going into businesses a lot. But again, if you're a manufacturing stock-based business or purely inventory-based business, the stock control system is really the hub of the business. So the accounting, yes, it needs to be there and it does your financials and your payroll and everything else. But realistically, Fishbowl is going to be running your day-to-day operations. So all of your buying and selling of stock is all going to happen in inventory. So what that's really meant is Fishbowl becomes the hub of the business from an operational point of view. And what that means is Fishbowl is going to touch on the other aspects of the business. So whether that be online sales or scanning or mobile reps, so I've got reps on a tablet. So there's really been this expansion of how Fishbowl interacts with the other parts of the business. So we've seen a lot of that change. A lot of our clients now integrate Fishbowl with their website. So if they're just moving into online sales, or if online sales are the majority of their business, it's definitely what we're seeing a lot more of these days. So if you've got a shopping cart, one of the main shopping carts are out there. So we have plugins now that enable integration between Fishbowl and that website. So orders come straight into Fishbowl once they're taken on the website. And we also have the ability to push to the website your stock levels live out of your warehouse, as well as things like pricing and product details. So that's one aspect of a plugin for Fishbowl that's really, expanding the use of it. Another thing we see a lot of clients adopt is our scanning solutions. So, of course, you can have the old manual process of printing out a picking slip and going and getting your stock off the shelf and putting it in a box and shipping it out the door. But these days, with your Android devices or your proper warehouse scanners, a lot of clients are going for Fishbowl Go, which really means that once the stock has been put into Fishbowl via a purchase order and receiving it, almost everything else that happens on the warehouse floor can happen on a tablet or a scanner. So rather than a staff member having to walk back to a terminal to update that they've picked the stock or shipped it out the door, all of that can happen on a scanner. And regardless of all that workflow aside, stock taking is another big thing that scanning really adds into the business. So historically, a business will shut down for a day or two, depending on how much stock they have, and have to go through this whole count process before updating their system and then moving on with business. With scanning, it means it can happen live on the floor. So rather than the business shutting down, you can really work on a rolling stock take where you can give the scanner to a warehouse member and say, right, today you're off and counting aisle number B. And while they're at that bay counting the stock in aisle number B, no one's going to come and pull the stock out from in front of them. So it really enables that live stock take adjustment to occur, which is a really big gain as opposed to shutting down for a day or two. So another app that we integrate with is JobSync. So JobSync's a product out of Melbourne, and it's an Android or iOS-based application that is a tool for sales reps. So it's fully integrated with Fishbowl, which means that you could have reps or staff on the road seeing a customer, where as well as doing the general customer relationship management in regards to appointments and really just being a face-to-face, it gives them full functionality back into Fishbowl. So what that means is they can be talking to a customer, bring up a list of products that are currently stocked in Fishbowl. They can see stock levels in the warehouse or warehouses if there's multiple locations, as well as do things like take an order while they're there with the customer, and that order will come straight back into Fishbowl as a sales order ready for fulfillment. And additional to that, we also have integration with the dashboarding tool. So obviously in this day and age with the technology that we have, it enables live dashboarding of business KPIs to a dashboard. And instead of building a dashboard within Fishbowl, the way that we approach that is integrating with a dashboard tool called ClickFolio, which is online, which means you could be anywhere in the world and a director could log in and see live KPI reporting directly out of Fishbowl. Another advantage of using ClickFolio is it doesn't just have to be Fishbowl's KPIs. So the whole business can start to be managed on that dashboard, whether that be marketing KPIs, sales KPIs out of Fishbowl or stock KPIs or order KPIs, but any other general information that they want to present to the directors or to decision makers via a dashboard can be done with that with Clickfolio. And the really neat thing with that is we can customize those dashboarding reports or graphs or tables specific to the business. So if you're a manufacturing business, you're going to have certain needs. If you're an inventory-based, order management, so how many orders we took today and how many back orders we're carrying, those dashboards can be customized to sort of display the reporting needs of the business.
Right. So Fishbowl in the middle, you've got all these other parts of the ecosystem on the outside that make it quite a sophisticated bit of software. Is it safe to say that you're always adding to those, always trying to find ways to, integrate to give the client a better outcome?
Yeah, definitely. So, moving forward, technology is going to continue to change. Fishbowl's always going to be the operational middle of the business because it's stock or manufacturing. But definitely as needs change, whether that be, eBay or online ordering through different applications and platforms come on board, or as different needs arise, there's going to be, further integrations with the Fishbowl, going forward to meet those needs, whether that be freight integrations is another example where we can tie back into freight systems. So as you're shipping orders, you can get the best rates, print the shipping label, generate your manifest all directly out of Fishbowl. So there's this whole array of different solutions out there that we can tie into. So yeah.
Excellent. So if you're sitting there right now and you've got an anomaly, you've got something in your business that you're unsure how it works and you want to consider a new process, why don't you reach out to Simon and call him on the phone number and have a chat with him and just ask him the question. I've got this process. Is there a solution for that? And I'm sure part of the ecosystem there'll be a way to fix that. Thank you for your time watching this video, and reach out to Simon if you think there's a good fit. Bye for now.
Thanks.